Whether you climb up the ladder or down the ladder, your position is shaky. But if you stand with your 2 feet planted firmly on the ground, you will have your balance. That's from the Tao Te Ching, roughly from the Tao Te Ching. Pretty close. I've listened to it quite a few times. It's a phenomenal book. I highly recommend it. Let's talk about that. Success and failure. If you go, whether you climb up the ladder or down the ladder, either one, your position is shaky, right? That's nuts. But if you stand with your 2 feet planted firmly on the ground, you'll be good. What's that mean? I don't think there is success and failure. There's no such thing. Another thing the Tao Te Ching says is do your work and step back. It doesn't, the outcome of our work doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether it's good. There's no good or bad. It says that. It's Tao Te Ching. Man, it's an excellent book. There is no good or bad. When you start seeing things as good and bad or positive and negative, then it's like you lost, man. You gotta get back in the center of the circle. So there is no success and there's no failure. Why? Because everything you're doing basically, the only reason you're doing it is to get closer to God. That's it. That's why we're doing anything. So all of our present moments should basically be devoted to God. And the result, there is no result in that scenario when you're living like that, when you're staying present, right? Because it doesn't matter. There's no good or bad. You're not looking at good or bad. It's just something that is. And it can help us accept what is happening in our lives, right? It can help us accept it, because we can start to see things in more of an objective lens, right? There is no success or failure or good or bad. You should trust somebody who is trustworthy, and you should trust somebody who's not trustworthy. You know what I mean? You're kind of viewing things on a very equal plane. So it's pretty deep, the Tao Te Ching. You're basically doing everything to channel the divine for God's love, and the result doesn't matter. So we got to erase success and failure from our head. And remember, everything's a lesson anyway. Everything's just a lesson on this life to get to the point where we can practice some sort of non-attachment to things and people and keep our emotions in check and basically channel the divine on the highest level we're able to. So another cool quote from the Tao Te Ching is stop thinking and end your problems. Stop thinking and end your problems. That's a big one, because we ruin our own life basically by letting this monkey mind go crazy. Sorry, my son's having a meltdown upstairs. I don't know what's going on. I think he's tired. He got up a few times last night. So I was up pretty early, up at like 3. But anyway, you gotta shut this noggin up. That's one of the main goals. You gotta stop thinking, just stay present, channel the divine. You know what I mean? Stay in the present moment. Because this is going to cause you all your pain and worries, suffering. You're just creating suffering by arguing with yourself, creating false scenarios, anxiety and depression. Well, I mean, that's also a biochemical issue. That's why you got to eat fruit. Always come back to the fruit. Got to eat fruit. You got to eat the raw foods. You gotta fix our tarnished genetics from generations of wrong eating. We are all responsible for fixing generational weaknesses in our genetic line, because our parents and grandparents, etc., all have eaten basically the wrong foods forever. I mean, the farther back you go, it gets a little better because they didn't have as much processed stuff, so they did have more raw vegetables actually and stuff like that. But now you introduce all the toxins, environmental and the pharmaceutical. Man, you gotta get on them raw foods. Raise our energy, guys. That's how we do it. It always comes back to the raw foods. It's crazy. You gotta stop thinking. That'll calm your mind too. That'll calm your mind, help you stop thinking. Because remember, acids aggravate. Acids will aggravate your mind. Just like taking in violence, there's what you can see something acidic too, in a sense, or listen to something acidic. So remember, it can be many different levels. Acids aggravate the mind, and alkalines, things like hydrating, highly electric fruits, calm the mind, because you're also in essence you're detoxifying the body at the same time. So you're kind of relieving you're breaking down some of the acids, and you're relieving some of the stress, and you're cooling some hot acids, because we're all basically drowning in our own cellular metabolic waste. It's basically all our trillions of cells shit right? They take a shit, and their waste goes into the lymphatic system, our body's main elimination system, basically. And for the acids. But guess what? Nobody's kidneys are working. Nobody's kidneys are working properly. And this is easy to check. Don't take my word on it and check it. Just go look it up. Say, look, what does proper kidney filtration look like in urine? Get the urine samples. You'll see people who have really good proper kidney filtration have lots of sediment in their urine, lots of white stuff, heavy white stuff. I started to get it. You got to go deep though. You got to get on the raw fruits and vegetables. It's hard to get. I mean, for a lot of us, because we've been super clogged up, and that means all those acids, all those cellular metabolic waste that our cells shit into our lymphatic system, our sewer system, that has nowhere to go. What do you think all those acids are doing just sitting there? Boom! Acids destroy, man. Acids degenerate. Acids are corrosive. You know what I mean? Acids are inflammatory and aggravating. So what do you think happens when we eat all this acidic foods? Go look up the acid alkaline food chart. Very important for a human being. Very important. Because that's going to be your health right there. If you're eating all acids, well, of course your organs are going to start, your cells are going to start to get damaged, which is cancer. Of course that's going to happen. That's why so many people have it. It's because everybody's full of acid, and the acids can't get out. And every time we get a cold or flu, we freak out, and we got to take something to suppress it, which is not a bad idea, because then you're locking all that crap in. You don't want to lock mucus in. I mean, dairy, they're pushing dairy on babies with all these baby formulas. It's terrible. That's way too much protein. Look at the amount of protein in mother's milk compared to the amount of protein in these formulas for babies. It's bad. Proteins, we need hardly any protein. They need very small amount so cow's milk is way too much. And pasteurized dairy is one of the most mucus forming foods on the planet. Even raw, it doesn't really matter, because guess what? We are not baby cows. That is an undeniable fact, that we are not baby cows, and we should not be consuming dairy products. Pretty easy. And if you add on top that like 70% of the world is lactose intolerant, we're supposed to stop creating the enzyme or whatever it is that helps us stop being able to process milk, basically, after we're like 2 years old, because from our mother's teat. That's the last time we should drink milk. Man, drinking too much milk inflamed my tonsils, probably like a lot of you guys. They just hacking tonsils out, hacking a nickel a tonsil. They're still making $1 billion. A nickel an adenoid. This nurse practitioner we went to for my son said they're zapping out 3/4 of kids' adenoids. That's how common it is. Zapping them out. Nobody knows anything about diet. Not a single medical doctor. There's some great medical doctors who know about the true diet for humans. It's very important, because that's the foundation for all of your health. Again, if you've got an injury, or if you have any sort of health issue caused by the acids, like if some part of your body's not working correctly, that's an imbalance caused by acids and congestion and mucus. That's all it is. How do we always end up on the fruit? That's how you know what I mean, guys? It's all a circle. Everything is related. So if you talk about any little thing, everything is super connected to the same kind of source of important building blocks for our lives, guys, for human beings, for this human species. And that happens to be, fruits, because that's going to literally take our consciousness into the highest possible level of connection with everything around us, the entire universe. Christ consciousness is going to help that, because we need to take care of these human forms. Even though this is all an illusion, yes, whatever, right? Well, this is part of our experience in all ways you can imagine. So we need to treat these temples with the highest possible respect. And that means everything we do is taking care of ourselves, taking care of these temples, raising the vibration, fixing them from their degenerated states. How do we do that? Through purification, right? It's all about the purification, guys. We gotta meditate. We gotta do cold showers, do saunas. I just got this sweet sauna. Been wrecking the sauna for 30 minutes, sweating it out, getting them toxins out. Do enemas if you have to. Eating raw fruits and vegetables. Clean it up, guys. Rebuild the temple.